Hello everyone, here's the second game of Songsong against Project Belgium. Let's check it out. So it looks like Project Belgium is playing as Chinese in the blue here. A very, very quick start. Sheep are almost under the town center. And if we look at in red here, we have Songsong playing as Tatars. Both Tatars and Chinese are very strong Arabia civilizations. And obviously the Tatars have the hill bonuses and the extra sheep and longer lasting sheep. And Chinese have the extra villagers at the start. And with a start like that, I'm going to suspect it's probably up 2 villagers-ish by the time they hit feudal age. And look at Songsong going right to the enemy base and grabbing some sheep. Might even find another 2 sheep and a boar. And Project Belgium luring deer again. Now, Songsong did a poor job luring this boar. What you always want to do is you want to hit it twice, and you want to make sure you don't retreat too quick after the second hit. And if you do that, the boar will definitely follow. And then you want to keep it kind of within 3 tiles. So usually people go back and forth. You don't have to do as much as he's doing it. You can kind of go, you know. At one point in time, I used to know, you could even do it with waypoints so that you wouldn't have to watch it as closely. But you got to be really careful how you click those. If you misclick one, you can kill your boar. Or kill your scout. Sorry. Ooh, I was on 3 HP when that got shot. Close call. So Project Belgium has also realized that his boar is stolen, and has found Songsong's base and his scout. And is seeing if there's anything else he can do over here. Obviously, it can be a big deal as Chinese civilization, because you eat up that food quite quickly when you start the game. 6 villagers on it right away. So you find you do need that more than other civs, I find. Now, alternatively, there's still 4 sheep up for grabs here in Songsong's base. And a boar. I mean, obviously you could reverse. You could take his boar as well. And fortunate for Project Belgium is he just turned around right there, just missing that. But obviously you don't know what's there. You don't know what's left, and you have the decision right now, right? It's like, do I go back and go home and lure more deer and find my second boar, which he hasn't found yet, or do I stay forward? And I think he's making the right call here. Going back, in all honesty, unless you can chase the scout with the boar, it might have even just been easier to push these 2 deer and find your second boar before going forward. I will say though, the second you're in a situation like this, if you're in Project Belgium shoes, you're being lamed, build 2 farms right now. Like second you got 60 wood, add another farm. And the other trick is, do this. Add more to lumber than you would normally, and you might have to go 3 or 4 farms, right? It's not inconceivable. But luckily he did find this boar, and he is going to his deer. That definitely mitigates this a little bit too, so. There you go. And this is where you change strategies too. Quite frequently, if you're down on food, you don't want to go, you can, but you don't always want to choose like a men-at-arms strategy or something like that. It can take a lot out of your economy, so. In some cases, I'd actually recommend watching what your opponent's doing and then deciding whether to just go straight archers or other strategies. You can always go up a little slower too and do militia and maybe palisade in, depending. But you look at this map and okay. So another thing I want to highlight here. So in my opinion, Project Belgium picked one of the 2 lumber camp areas that he could have. They're both probably pretty good choices. They're both kind of off to the side a little bit. This one's an option too, I would say. But he didn't fully scout it at the start of the game. But the gold is what I'd be super concerned about if I had this map myself. You got a front gold here, kind of wallable, but then you have side gold here. And he doesn't know about his third one, but it's in the same spot. So very dicey. Now, let's see what Songsong is going for here. Well, he still hasn't loomed. And he's going for 2 lumber camps here. Okay. Tons and tons and tons of food. Is he going fast castle here? Like, oh my god. And luring deer on top of that. What are you doing? Anyways, this is what a good economy looks like. But usually when you have an economy like this, you don't wait till 24 pop to go up. Usually you go up a little sooner. So his strategy is definitely confusing me a touch. Okay, he is going a barracks here. And that would feel better if you're upping this slow. Build the barracks and plug this gap. And like, is this seriously a fast castle build? And it looks like this is an archer build with gold and with barracks and a house. Yeah, that's got to be what that is. So let's keep an eye on Songsong for a sec here. But yeah, literally going up 26 population, closing off. This is gutsy. If you get 2 spears and 2 archers on you, you're definitely in some pain. I mean, he is palisade walling in a little bit, so I guess it's true if you can delay your opponent enough. He might also be relying on just how poor he expects British Belgium's economy to be, but still, yeah, this is. So the other thing, if the second you see someone not up, it's 11 minutes and they haven't hit feudal age, and you know that they're a civ that should go at. Yeah, 2 archer ranges and start adding spearmen too. And you want to go straight there, yeah, and he is. I'd even encourage, if you're into a situation like this, 2 villagers forward with making a tower. Not necessarily on this wood, because that one seems like the most obvious. But he has a back wood, and that's not going to be crippling. So I would actually say, because once you have a couple military units out, you can almost go wherever. And I think in this case, it'd be somewhere over here, going for the gold. So if someone tries to fast castle and you can get their gold, you can basically just, make it so they stop making... They don't make army, right? It's just kind of a wasted fast castle, essentially. So that's what I would recommend. He's going to kill his sheep. Oh, 2! Oh. Yeah. Got a bit of revenge there. Got those sheep down. I mean, killing the first one was good. I think he could have killed the first one and retreated. Once your opponent's paying attention, you probably let the other 2 go. And having a scout would actually help here. You might be able to kill these villagers a little easier. So, like, for example, I think this one would have a tough time making it back to the TC if you had that scout. But tough call in the moment, right? And probably born out of a little frustration from earlier. The other thing I want to say is you have 2 archer ranges. You only need 6 on gold, maybe 7. So, and it looks like Songsong is going straight to Castle Age. Oh my god, okay. No upgrades. I mean, that's deadly for sure. And here you want to shoot the army. If you know your opponent's going to Castle Age, trade units as much as you possibly can. And that's true with any age. If you see your enemies go into the next age, try and trade as much army as you can. Obviously cost effectively, but it's going to make a big difference. And right here, yeah, it's just focus on those archers. And definitely your other focus is to get them off gold. And here what I do is 1 shot for each, 1 shot on villas, 1 shot on the army. Definitely get the armor upgrade if you're in this situation. And this is where those 2 villagers would make a huge difference. He hasn't even scouted, Songsong hasn't seen what's here. And if there was a tower going up right here with these 6 archers, the second it got up, even if you get to Castle Age, it's kind of just game over. Because you got enough army to defend it. And now here I would definitely not sacrifice army for villagers. You need to keep their army. That's the #1 focus, because you know that you're pretty sure they're going to the next stage, and the second you see this, don't retreat at all. There's 4 archers here. You got to take as many out as you can. If anyone's retreating, I mean, obviously go diagonal and try and do the good micro, but you want to fight, 2 on 3 right here. Definitely fight. And you could afford that armor upgrade a lot earlier too, because getting an extra villager or 2 isn't going to be the biggest deal. But if you lose the army war to crossbows with Bodkin, and all of a sudden you're the one on defense with a very open map like something like this, where it can be microed and where there might be some hills at different spots on the map, it gets very difficult. So, as you can see, even just 5 archers, this is, I'm gonna suspect will be annoying to deal with. And with the couple skirms and archers, it looks like Songsong will actually be able to defend this. Obviously, he is down by 10 villagers, but he is in the next age, and so when Project Belgium goes up, that will. And I would definitely recommend the armor upgrade here for sure, and to tower. Yeah, I was gonna say that. You got to be sure that you won't die, and this is all coming down to. I'm gonna say if you get a good attack and you get a few villagers, on either side, it's gonna make a huge difference. Now I do encourage a few more vills on gold once you get Castle Age, because crossbows build faster than archers. A little fact that a lot of people don't know. So, okay, right here, okay, this could be deadly. Now here's the part where you've only got 4 units, so you've lost 2 vills, and he's also right at the front, lost a few there as well. Now, Project Belgium knows he's gonna die here, so probably just focus on another villager kill or 2 and get what you can get. So, good decision there. And now this army isn't so scary either, because that tower took out kind of half of it and lowered the HP on the other half. So, and as you can see, when you don't have Bodkin Arrow, only 1 damage per shot on palisade walls. So maybe if you go uphill, I don't know. Maybe it's 2 damage, so maybe that's a little quicker. But I would definitely be doing that if I was Tatars. But even in general, it's usually a good idea to stand on the hill if it's 2 tiles away. Small things, but the other thing here is I'm also a little surprised that Songsong got away with this without his own tower. Definitely felt a little sketchy there, but he did manage that. So yeah, trick here is you can wall behind it with an extra tower, sure. Or you can use 3 villagers, build a market here, and when this gets close to the low HP, and even make it 200 HP, and they'll never break through. So there's a few things here, but he should be fine. The other thing too that I think if he was going to go fast castle, I think you do a fast rush, and then you go fast castle, because then you really put your opponent on their back ankle, especially if you can just distract the gold or the berries. Sometimes just that extra attention can make a big difference, especially because he had tons of food for, Songsong had tons of food to do that. So, and I'm not sure why you want to camp at home. I mean, your big advantage right now is your military might. He doesn't have a second town center. He's not booming. I think you just go for spots where it's easy to do damage, which there aren't as many just because this is all house walled, but actually looks like it's a pretty good defense. But the other thing is, if you ever see your opponent, you do this strategy, this is where you have to react in Age of Empires. If you see your opponent's got a very good defense and you're not going to be able to do much damage, that's when you build less units and you switch right immediately to town centers. Essentially, you're doing army until the point where you can't do any damage, and then you're doing economy and kind of telling your opponent, well, you have to come to me now. We're playing on my terms. So, because he hasn't really started that, Project Belgium is up by 8 villagers. And he's got a very decent sized amount of crossbows lurking in here. And if he gets a university, even without it, I think this is like 18, 16 archers, right? So, and a few more in his tower. Well, I guess he moved those, but you wait till you get the upgrades, though. I mean, you'll get the kills, obviously, but he'll get them either way, I guess. I guess he's lost 2 for 3, but it's still good. And when you dump archers out, if you have 10, always do it at, click the button 5 times or whatever, or else sometimes they go around the wrong way. Not a big deal, but now this is a very good town center spot. I 100% agree with this. You've got wood, you've got gold. It's a little bit forward, but at least it's harder to camp behind it because it's kind of offset a bit. It's still possible, obviously, but then you just switch to gold. And you can kind of farm probably pretty safely on this half of it. And even if you farm on the other side, you still have a town center to jump into. Another good strategy here, predicting where your opponent's coming and kind of getting the army advantage here. You see a bunch of blue bodies. Very well done. And Tatars get those extra 2 sheep too, which is very handy. So it looks like they're both adding a university. Yep. But I would say Project Belgium has a lot of stone. You kind of have 2 decisions when you let's say you accidentally put a bunch of people on stone. You have 2 decisions here. You stay on stone and you build a castle somewhere, or you take them off stone right away and you build a town center, and you accept that you just kind of have a couple extra resources that you might not use right away. I guess he did it for the towers, but he also does have the villagers, the extra villagers that can do that without getting too far behind. And as you can see, Songsong is actually behind by 14 villagers right now, which is huge. This is, I think, one of the things Songsong can take away from these games is the second you get a military advantage, or even the laming at the start of the game, if he just drushed, did some very small palisade walls, you know, similar to what he did here, and then did 2 ranges archers, he would have been up to castle age, you know, 30 seconds or a minute later. But Project Belgium would have been on the defense, and he wouldn't have lost as many villagers going up, and would probably be in the driver's seat right now. And it's hard to make those judgment calls obviously on the fly sometimes, but and here's where the second, if you have Tatars and you have ballistics, if your enemy accidentally runs into the hill where you're camping and patrolling, that can be a game ender. So it's definitely a good idea to patrol on a couple different hills here. And he's got elite skirms coming out already, and I guess he might realize that he's got the economy advantage, so he can afford to do that. And how quick is Songsong going to react? Immediately. Look at that. He sees the archers and hops right in. And he's got another castle here. Can't be on the hill over there. Good stuff. Now, here's the dicey part. If you're going towards this hill, I don't know where blue is. Yeah, where Project Belgium is, but... Project Belgium just dancing a bit. Yeah. Now, you got to check these. They got armor, but if you're on a hill, you can, and you got a big group, I guess, you definitely take them out. Now, the second the other archers get in, you got a problem, but... And in all honesty, I was about to say that, just in all honesty, this is the time where you get some siege on the field. I think both players should have a single siege shop. And you want to get, if you can get it on the hill, it's even better, but you might lose a villager while trying to do that. But in this case, I think a single siege shop on one of these hills. Oh, he's going for the castle here too. Now, this is where you got to pay attention, both players. So he's running. This is always a good idea. Retreat towards the hill. And then this is also a good idea. If you have more units, you might want to go for the fight anyway. See pretty good micro here from both of them. And that's the style. You want to move back and forth really quickly to avoid ballistic shots. And obviously Songsong won that fight, but I'm going to say it was less than it would have been otherwise, just because that hill really helped. And surprise. Kind of hitting both spots here. It's good. And there's a siege shop. We'll see who's paying attention. Hard to watch 3 spots at the same time, even if you're a really good player. So again, always run uphill, and if you see a big force, just send them back to your base. Just, you know, right-click somewhere back there. Now, here's where it gets a little interesting, because, I mean, obviously it's just one mangonel, and maybe not the biggest deal. But you've had your castle denied. You do have the hill here at the moment. Looks like he's getting pretty close to going up to the next age, too. It's a 600, 500. Food and gold. But Songsong's also said, you know what? You got a castle at 57%. I got a siege unit. You know, for me, it makes sense to just sit around this and make sure you don't get it up to the next completion. Now let's see Songsong's economy. So they're within 9 villagers of each other now, which is very close. I would also argue that Songsong has more siege units here, but he's also not aware that he's about to be pushed. This could be a surprise. He's going with villagers to get it. Nice. Okay, so you want to hit the mangonel first. That'll take it down for sure. Ooh, big hit. Another mangonel coming. Enough archers to hold on here, I think. And he's adding some knights too. Good idea. If your opponent goes skirms, mid to late castle age, always a good idea. Ooh, super dicey here. See how he's paying attention. Knight going for the mangonel. Good decision. But looks like he's focus firing the knight, so it won't get killed. Oh, I managed to get it too. He might have deleted it there, I'm not sure. For some weird reason, when you delete mangonels on a lower hill, they'll do more damage on when they shoot uphill. It's a weird bug or feature, depending how you look at it. Obviously, lots of attention around here. Now, Project Belgium's really got a ton of food again. When you get to this spot, you get to late castle age, and you have an incomplete castle, and there's 2 hills that are really important. Start adding light cav right away. You know, if you with that 1,000 wood, you easily add 6 stables, and maybe even another archery range or 2. And I keep building the mangonels. He's going for another one, but there's just mangonels here. It's really, I mean, you need the golds. I agree with this idea of both castles, but you gotta spend all your resources to make sure you secure them, or else you're really taking some big risks here. And Songsong's just sending in tons of knights, and if Songsong can stop this area, Project Belgium's almost out of gold here. In all reality, he could go to the next stage. And okay, now he's adding a bunch of stables. This is good. And I think at the moment you had camels with these ones, and you had a few more, and then you had light cav, and you make archers out of these 2, and get the upgrades, which he is chain barding right away. He canceled one of the castles. He might give him enough stone to get up here at some point, but bloodlines, yeah, now the bunch of stables. So I think from seeing this game, I think one tiny improvement for Project Belgium, at least against Songsong, would be making sure you go full army in mid to late castle age, instead of aiming to go Imperial, which he is now. He's kind of deciding that now. Especially when you need to secure your own gold. And it also gives you the flexibility to do the same to your opponent. He's got 2 forward golds too. If he had spent all those resources on army, he might be doing the exact same thing to Songsong. Go villager. Yeah. Adding some knights here. He's sneaking another castle up, and Songsong doesn't see this, so. Looks like I will get taken down. Oh, maybe not. That was a good repair. Just in the nick of time there. He is taking this castle down. Now, Project Belgium, when it hits around 700 hit points, like around now, I would cancel it. You don't want to lose the stone for this for free, so. I'm not sure how much you get back, but it's not nothing. Yeah, so he got a bit back there. Well, at least he does have a gold secured and another stone secured. But now he's going to be fighting. I mean, it looks like these are maybe on similar elevations because they're both on a hill, but. And this is decision time. Okay, this is a tough decision, actually. 10 ranged units, 10 camels, and you've got 16 knights. This is going to be a close fight. And focusing that ram is not helping you slow this down. Yeah, that's it's not terrible, but it's not the best either, I would say. Yeah, definitely the castle's going to get up. And now, right now, the second you realize this, now it's who gets stamped first. Now it makes a huge difference, so I'd be... And the Project Belgium realized that, and he just clicked up, and he's going to add a ton on stone, eh? But now you also have a second decision. What unit are you going in Imperial Age? And you've got to realize that your gold is in a dicey spot here, and maybe even the stone, so... And can't claim to have a golden answer here, but in all honesty, you know, I'm not sure. If it was me and I was in panic mode and I didn't see this other gold, this is good he went and spotted this. I'd be thinking yes, Trebs, because you can't go Chuko Nu because you're going to have a Treb war here. But you need units to defend it. So I think I'd be doing light cav right here. With all these stables, and maybe even a few more, and at least then that gives you the flexibility to run in, take out trebuchets. You can raid after the fact. And look at Songsong, his map awareness here, just amazing. Realizes that, okay, I've denied one of your golds, and you're going to need more, and you're probably going to look around, so let's go take a look and see what's out there. Now, is Songsong preparing for the Treb War? So he is not. So if you're preparing for a Treb War, what you do is you put tons of villagers on gold, on stone, sorry, and you build your second castle in such a way that it's on another hill. And I'm not sure that I agree with what he's going for. What's he going to make here? Looks like it is Cavalier. Okay, that's probably not a bad idea, actually. I think sneaky Cavalier without showing your opponent is a very good idea, actually. You have the gold for it. You'll be able to run in, kill the trebuchets, especially if there's not much defending them. No, I like what Songsong's doing here. Denying the gold on the side. Going for Cavalier. And I think that's going to be tough for Project Belgium. This wood's running out. This wood's pretty dicey. And then if you look in this whole area, there's no wood other than here, which is covered by the castle. He almost needs this wood pile, I'm going to say, which is tough when your opponent has army kind of hanging around that area. So now one knight's going in to kill this Mangonel. Good. Obviously, he's just trying to get the shot, and if they get stuck in here, you never know. So I do think this is definitely where you repair, and you definitely mass your own Trebs. And I think you focus the castle. You know, I'm not sure. I think your Cavalier, the second they get the first armor upgrade, and Cavalier upgrade, you can easily take down these Trebs. If there's 3 or 4 of them, there's nothing defending this other than 2 castles. So I mean, that could be huge. And does he have the upgrades yet? Okay, you can see Songsong building a second castle on this hill. I like that. It's kind of it's on a second retreated hill. Okay, and here's where it's going to be a huge problem for Project Belgium. Because you're about to lose all your trebuchets for free, yeah. Yeah, I think calling that's fair at this point. At the same time, though, I would argue, you know, if you had 20 or so light cav right here, and, I mean, maybe it's still not enough. That's a lot of Cavalier and a lot of archers. It might still be very difficult to hold this position, especially with the resources kind of falling out at the end here. But I do think there was a point in time where, in mid-Castle Age, if he had added a couple more archery ranges, a couple more stables, and essentially made enough units to be 100% certain, maybe a little slower to imp, but 100% certain to get this hill, or at least a castle covering both these golds, and being able to mine them in peace, I think it probably would have been a much, much closer game and maybe harder to deal with. And obviously the other hard thing too is when you go for these stray resources, sometimes you need to build a town center first and you go 3 or 4 villagers. But I do realize he's in panic mode trying to get those right away. From Songsong's side, I actually think if he drushed and then fast castled, this would have been a lot easier for him. And also maybe if he had done some palisades or things like that on his way to Castle Age. He was quite a bit behind in terms of villagers at one point in time, and he did a very good job with microing and taking advantage of some of the Tatar bonuses and adding knights at the right time, denying those castles to come back this game. And very, very well done. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the game. If you did, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.